Okay, so now we are live again. It's our second streaming where Haysing and we are going to share with you our perspective on a certain topic. So maybe before I let Haysing then introduce herself and also our today's topic, I'm Catherine. I'm from a former CEO. I'm now a women's C-suite coach, and well, now let's dive in. Haysing, now to you.
Thank you, Catherine. My name is Haysing. I'm a corporate turned high-performance coach as well, like Catherine. And I'm here to share the mistakes I made in the past. And now that I'm not in the trenches anymore, things are clearer. And I like to share my story with the corporate women because I want to help them avoid the mistakes I made.
Excellent. So, and for that, we've chosen a perfect topic which concerns as well as employees, as well as leaders when promoting or selecting talents. So, how do we want to start our conversation?
Well, we started talking amongst ourselves, between ourselves. And there are few things high achieving corporate women do. And then recurring theme of their frustration is I am passed over for the role that I deserve. I continue to make other people look good. I feel undermined and disrespected. And I feel stuck and I'm doing an amazing job and I'm in the same role for 3-4 years. What's next? So we came to a conclusion that, hey, you're in the performance trap, girlfriend. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. So maybe let's have a look at what usually in big corporations, what we're using, or corporations are using to select or to find the talents and to see the evolution through their lifetime within the firm. And it is a tool which is called, let me bring it onto the screen, which is called the 9-box performance tool. It is a McKinsey tool which is very widespread, and where you're looking at your candidates from a potential perspective as well as a performance perspective. And you're putting them in grids. So the ideal is that you're finding yourself here in this area where you are high potential or medium potential, and also from a performance perspective, you're contributing. The thing is, as you're evolving during your career, it is you will see that you cannot be all the time here being considered a star. When you get a new role, you might be maybe somewhere here where you are an average performer because you are in the midst of your learning curve. However, though, we women, and we tend to be really trapped because of our contribution, because of us wanting to prove to the world that we can make it, and we are becoming performers, solid performers, contributors. I call them, I know I have my soldiers behind me who are bringing and generating revenues, making happy clients, but we are trapped here because when you as a leader, you're looking at your talents within the firm, if you're a solid performer like it is written here, you're not considered being a high potential. And it is when reading Sally Helgenson's and Marshall Goldsmith's book, How Women Rise, that I thought, damn it, I got blind spotted myself as a leader. Because what they found out, and ask yourself if you're not also in the same position, or if this didn't happen to you, leaders tend to assess men for their potential and women for their contribution. So now the round is open. Haysing, and hello, Rolf. Good to see you.
It is so true. And I think it's within women's genes what makes us perfect nurturer. So I have heard so many times from my very high-performing women colleagues, especially when they're leading a very strategic enterprise-wide project that lasts more than a year. They cannot move on to the next role when it's available for them because they feel obligated to see to an end. That was me. I was part of a project that lasted more than 5 years. And you feel like it's my baby.
It is.
And then I had people under me who's been helping me. I cannot leave them behind. So you want to see it to an end and make it succeed. But what happens is during those 5-year periods, I had business partners, men and women. Women stayed. Men get their recognition at certain milestone and leverage that to go to the next level.
Right.
Uncanny.
Yes. And hello, Andy. Good to see you. Let me share with you how this can also happen to a senior leader. And it happened also to me. When I used to work for Hewitt at that time, I had one of the most extraordinary teams. I mean, we achieved so many things. But I was so focused on proving that my team, and together with our clients, we were achieving the best results that I didn't see it coming. I was a really solid performer. And you know what? It was a comfort zone for me because I was feeling well. We had the greatest success. We had, raving fans. The thing is that you don't see that you're commoditizing yourself. You're becoming a commodity because at one point in time, if people don't need you anymore, you're eliminated. And it happened to me, even though it was at the height of my career at Hewitt at that time. And because I didn't look at what next potential I could bring to the company. I was not focusing on my potential. I was trying to become more and more a contributor, to show, to prove, and this is where, it can become a dangerous zone for us.
Yes. It's a feeling of being in control.
Oh yes.
And I think it happens for both men and women. It's a personality thing. And I'm not talking about always getting promoted. That's not what we're talking about. But if that would probably be something that was career advancement driven people, you definitely have to play this game of becoming or known as a potential versus solid performer. But even if you don't want to advance, but you want fulfilling career, then you cannot be in the same role and be always in control of your environment and your performance. You always have to put yourself in the next level of learning, even if it's a lateral move. Because otherwise you get caught in this performance trap.
And you're speaking out a very important point, Haysing, because I think that this matrix is still very valid when you have a sales role where it's about generating revenues, gaining new clients, winning new clients. Also, if you have efficiency improvements to do, but this is no more a valid tool if you want to spark innovation throughout the corporation or throughout your department or the division, whatever it is. And because these tools or these measures are no more the right ones. There are some other metrics to take. And I think it is the perfect timing also for us women who have been very much educated to be perfect, to look nice, to have a perfect makeup, a perfect outfit, and to get out of that and to break with or to become aware of this perfection trap and start to bring some new components, creativity, innovation, because else how can you pivot in your career? How can you disrupt yourself if you stay all the time here defining yourself? I don't like the word solid performer. It's a true word. I mean, it's right, but because we are high performer coaches, we're looking at not only the performing side, but we're also looking at the potential, how to spark creativity, how to be working with people. And so I prefer talking about high contributors because this is what it is. You are considered as someone who delivers, period.
Yes. My case, in my view, came from high potential and moderate performer when I joined the company. And over the course of leading one of the biggest projects for the company, 5 years span, now looking back, I put myself in a position to go downward spiral, right? So I became more and more of a key resource that people cannot lose this woman. She knows too much. She knows the entire span of 5-year project. And I think that's the moment that I realized, excuse my language, holy shit, what have I done to myself? And when it became clear to me that even I couldn't make the lateral move to another line of business because I always finish second. And part of the reason is the last leg of interviewing process is the hiring manager talk to your current manager. And it's something happens there. Because she's in the middle of leading this amazing project. We can't do this, right? It's a CEO mandated. So I stay in the same role.
How did you feel? How did you feel when you became
big? I didn't know that in the beginning. I didn't know. And I just felt like there's something wrong with me. People don't like me. Right? So it makes you feel a little more insecure. But I think that was a time in my life. It's part of the aging and a lot of other components, all like perfect storm, creating a perfect storm. And it was my husband who says, get the heck out. Go somewhere else. And I have done that all my career. I never stayed in one role for more than 18 months to 2 years. Not because I wasn't loyal. But because there was no place to go. So even when I walked away from the company, I always forged really strong relationship with my boss. And they're the one who actually helped me move because you can't go anywhere within this company. I'm not going anywhere. So I will help you go somewhere else. But then my recent experience is the company was large. Like opportunities are abundant. And I felt like I love this company and I love this culture and it's bigger than what I can do alone. So why do I leave? I just have to find something different and better within this company. And I have accumulated a following of people who trust me based on what I deliver. But that's the problem. For a lot of women go through.
Yes.
Because you're losing momentum.
So what would you do differently if you had to start again?
So this is my passion for helping other corporate women in my coaching program. It has to be based on what makes you fulfilled. Some women don't want to advance. They want to just expand their knowledge and contribution through lateral moves. And they want to find something, a greater cause outside the organization. That's fine. There are other women who want to advance because their impact legacy is having a bigger team. And that's their number one focus at the moment, which is okay. So when I talk to corporate women, I look at their current position. How long have you been in your role? When you wake up in the morning, do you feel a little bit nervous about whether you know everything? Or is it like you can do this with your eyes closed? If it's a ladder, get moving. You're in trouble. A lot of women feel good about being in control and knowing everything, having answers for everything, anticipating any kind of question that comes her way when she presents in front of senior people. That's a mistake.
Very much so. I totally agree with you. You know, when it is sure that we as leaders, when we work with our teams, we always will have some, let's say, some young mother or maybe whose focus is simply on making sure that the kids are growing correctly, right? Who needs to bring also some money for the household or to the household, and I think it is something that we need to respect. On the other side, it is about also opening up them opportunities, and I want to share with you. And hopefully Martine won't be mad at me. Martine Furland, Mercer's current global CEO, when she got her kids, her boss at that time, I think it was at Towers, called her and said, "You know what, Martine, you're coming back. We want you. I want you." And she said several times, did she not have had this leader who wanted her back, who made everything so that as a young mother, she was also able to reconnect back with work and make the two things happening? She would not be today one of the largest consultancy firms CEO. And it is a great thing, to have men allies who help you, also women who help you as a young mother or as a mother to continue your career. And just also to make you aware of that, if you're having objectives which are more family oriented for a certain period of time, it doesn't mean that you cannot evolve and that you cannot allow for your potential, to grow. And also as corporations are expecting today that we are taking the reins of our careers, not of our job, our careers. Where do we want to go? And it is the role and the responsibility of the employee to state it. So reason why I think it is so important constantly not to fulfill a job, but to think about a career, what you want to make happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And most of us, men or women alike, but more so for women, we do not have a clear path.
Mm-hmm.
And career is just a part of life, right? But a lot of times, people who get higher education, bachelor's, master's, sometimes doctorate, pursue their career in the corporate or consulting space. We are made to feel like we have to sacrifice our personal life in order to push our career forward.
Mm-hmm.
At all times, whether we have our young children or not. And I'm of a generation that when I was a young woman, looking all over for women C-suite or SVP, EVP role models. I think it's one bank that I worked at. It's very sad to say, but I noticed that 90% of those women were childless.
Mm-hmm.
They missed the point in their life. We're not men. Our bodies are different. So you became an SVP, EVP, and C-suite member. There was a show, I think it was 2020 or Dateline in the US years ago. Women in their 40s are like, holy, I can't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody told me this.
Yes.
So I think it's a, when you think about career, we're talking about performance trap,
mm-hmm.
but we have to have a broader view in terms of where we want our life to go, and understand that the career is part of it, and then what kind of career I want to build in this company or next company, and then make sure that we always put ourselves in a position of learning and growth.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter you're making good six-figure income. If you're not growing,
yes,
you're restless. Do something about it.
There is also maybe one day one of the topics I would like to share to discuss with you is ageism, because I think that we women, we don't think that it is hitting us way quicker than men, and especially here in Europe, it is even hitting people way earlier. Because if you want to switch career at 50, like in Germany, your CV will be put in the trash. It's really unfortunate, but it is really sad to see how many talents, men and women equal, are not being considered as potentials or even as contributors. So Rolf, Rolf is asking, in what ways might asking for greater clarity about perceived excellence in any environment help divert others' preoccupation on perfection or pigeonholed high potential label as glass ceiling obstacles? Do you want to start?
That's a deep question.
Rolf? Excellent.
Great question.
It is really I think that this is the reason why I think that performance is not the right word, because the two of us and also Rolf being a high performance coach, we know what potential lies there, and I think that in what ways my asking for a greater clarity about perceived excellence. I think, I would have said before COVID that we should be talking about excellence. Nowadays, I would say, and because also of the innovation pressure, the new business models, the circular economy, ESG, the new Green Deal, which is rolling over all of us. I would say it's no more for me an excellence, even if we have high standards. It is for me a culture of progress. Of self-awareness, get to know each other, oneself, know in which direction I want to head towards as in my own career. And also see, I don't know if I would use excellence today as a, how should I say? If we are high performers, we are high performers because we're driven by that. It's like getting a shoot, in your arm, you're full of energy. It makes you happy. You see the results. And someone who is results driven, you cannot take this person away from that. At least knowing myself, I'm terrible for that. If I don't have it's not having my carrot in front of me, but if I don't have something, a goal which I want to fight for and that what I want to reach, I don't get the energy that I need. So,
I think excellence is a dangerous word. I joined one of the company because they strive to be better. And I was it was 15 some years ago. And I was like, I found the company that speaks to me.
mm-hmm.
To be in a continuous improvement.
Mm-hmm.
You can never be the best. It can only be the better version of who you are. And I joined, and it became more of excellence, hysteria, and performance trap. And the way I look at the perceived excellence,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I got Ralph's question correctly, is corporations expect people who want to push themselves to be the execution king and queen. And under the name of excellence and execution flawlessly, like we talked about this 2 weeks ago, my CEO is saying, I'll hold you personally accountable if this enterprise-wise project doesn't become success, and then it got lost in translation. So then it became, oh my gosh, my job is on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes the next person in line, and it became flawless execution.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as flawless execution. So what happens in corporate world is there's no room for mistakes and growth and innovation. So if you are solopreneur or small business owner, it only affects you, right? So you have the luxury of making mistakes
Mm-hmm.
and grow from that. But in large corporation, when the project is multi-million dollars and it affects 20, 30, 50,000 frontline employees, there might be minor hiccups along the way, but the final outcome is flawless execution and excellence. So there is this huge pressure that middle managers or senior executives go through, and removing your cubicle walls
Mm-hmm.
and creating collaboration desk is not going to make people innovative and collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have performance agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you talk about excellence and perceive the excellence and the execution mantra are going on, I think it's really hard. It's and then there's only like less than 3% of people who get tapped on, mostly men. And I see potential in you. Then I'm going to give you greater allowance to make mistakes. And I'm going to give you a lot of how to excellent soldiers. They're going to do it for you. But you're not going to stay in this role for more than a year or 18 months because I've got a path for you and I'm going to rotate you. Mm-hmm. So what happens is, why does it have to only happen to 1% of your workforce? Why can it not happen to 50% of your workforce? Mm-hmm. Why is it reserved for only a chosen few? Then you're wondering why people are not engaged.
And I think that for women, what I would say is that if a woman gets clapped on her shoulder, I mean, not physically, but good work, good job, Catherine, red flag. It's on one side, it is a compliment, it's a recognition, but it is a sign that, okay, am I still at the right place, or am I ready to evolve and to move on to another place, a new level? Or sideways. And I think that this is really one thing which is really, really important, because if you are getting, and I did that too as a leader, when I said, okay, Catherine, good job. I mean, you did a really wonderful job. It means that me as a leader, I know that I have Catherine doing a perfect job. I don't have to worry about that, that topic. I can focus on something else. And because I might have a lot on my plate in general, not only from, not because I'm a leader and because I'm an important person, but because I have several maybe hot potatoes I need to deal with. I tend to say, okay, Catherine, you did a good job. I mean, let me continue to focus now on what's the burning platform, or the heat map, where it is red or orange. So I tend as a leader to forget about the good contributors. And I think that it is absolutely essential that you, as a good, excellent, solid contributor, you're always making sure, talking with your manager, what are the next steps for me in my career? This at least once a year. And you should not build your career solely on your direct manager. It is so important to build a stakeholder network, people, senior people around the company, so that you can, grow yourself and become part of this, of the leadership.
So that's perfect. I wanted to ask you a question, but I can't see Rolf's question. Did we answer this question?
Okay, let me. I don't know if Rolf is still here, but let me restate it. In what ways might asking for greater clarity about perceived excellence in any environment help divert others' preoccupation on perfection, or pigeonholed high potential label as glass ceiling obstacles?
I hope we answered some.
We did, definitely. I mean, I would say that glass ceiling, when we talk about glass ceiling, being a solid contributor is definitely, you're putting yourself in the pigeonhole, and you're building a glass ceiling, because it is something, how shall I say, men have that too, but women have been raised in that. It is about us being control freak, that things are moving, that things are working. We don't want to hear about problems, or if there are problems, we solve it and make it happen so that it is again smooth. And we are conditioned by that. When men have more tolerance, if something doesn't work correctly or perfectly, they have this ability, this playfulness of still moving forward. And I recall that Mercer, when Mercer does their yearly survey on when women thrive, businesses thrive, they always showed when there is a new role which is offered to a man or a woman, men, if on the 10 criteria which are given as a must, if they fulfill 2 or 3 of them, these conditions, they're going to say, okay, I'm going to present myself to get the interview, to get the job, because the 7 or 8 points, I'm going to learn them on the fly. We women, if we have 12 conditions met, we're still asking ourselves,
one thing that we didn't need.
Or can I still make it? So I think that it is really the time that for us women to explore the, how should I say, the uncertainty.
Right.
I mean, what else can happen than you falling down on your nose, getting up, and continue? But we don't we are very much, we are control freaks.
Can I ask you a question though?
Sure.
So us as high-performance coaches, we're not here to change the world overnight. We are trying to impact 1% at a time until it becomes a mass to tip to the other side. So knowing the corporate environment won't change drastically over 1 or 2 year period. And you're right. Women are better than men at creating our own glass ceiling. So what are the 3 things, if you can think of more, that holy, like I'm listening to Catherine and Haysing, and it feels like I'm in that situation. What can I do to change the trajectory, my career trajectory, and where I am right now?
You know, I think that as soon as, and you alluded on that earlier, Haysing, when you said, I was doing it and I didn't, I was loyal to the project. It was my baby. I didn't want to go away. As soon as you know that you have these types of, how should I say, of feelings. Yes, you know that you are in your ownership. Yeah, right. You are in your comfort zone. Yeah. So if you want to move, there's only one thing. It is to push you and to jump into the cold water. There is no, if you want to grow, the only way to grow is to leave your comfort zone and to go through your fear zone, through your learning zone, until you have extended again, your comfort zone. And it is the best thing to do. And by the way, becoming or getting as women leadership positions, the higher you get, it's like, I love that analogy. One day there was one guy who said, okay, when you become a CEO, it's like you're getting you're going to be sit in a cockpit of a plane, and you have to fly that plane without getting any instructions. And it is true. Having me having been also CEO, it is expected that you can do everything. Everything without getting really the training. And I think the higher you get into senior positions, the more you're learning to get comfortable with uncertainty, with risks, risk for the company, how to mitigate them, also your own risk. You're learning that. So this would be the one thing. Get out of your comfort zone. The second thing is create a internal or a stakeholder network inside the company. Because, I mean, bring them benefits. I mean, also, I mean, speak about that with your manager, where you can, I mean, where the information that you're producing could be of benefit for some others within the company, but you will become visible. And this is the most important thing, because people will know, oh, there's Haysing. Oh, she did that superb job. I think I need her. And this is going to open up doors. And the third thing I would say, I mean, is what I said earlier. Have your conversation with your manager once a year on your salary, because we women are really darn bad at it, as well as about potential roles that you can take. And if you don't feel comfortable, I mean, just look at what pain points exist in the company and say, okay, I want to do that. And it might not happen within the next 3 months, but it might happen maybe 10 months or one year later, and people will get back to you. I have become CEO of Mercer Switzerland, not because I was a high performer or contributor, but because I was there with the highest potential to solve a huge pain for Mercer.
Right. Can I add one more?
Keep that in mind. Well, I think that this is the most important thing, because people are going to come back to you because you contributed, so you build the trust, but then because you are there, they know that they can rely on you even if there are risks, and this is what high potentials are. They can handle with risks, and they are confronting the risk and are finding solutions. So I can only encourage everyone to go, I mean, get out of your comfort zone, see what you can do, talk with your manager, put him or her under pressure by saying, okay, I did that, but what is the next step? Because this is expected from you within the corporation, that you are in the driver's seat of your career and not the corporation.
Absolutely. One thing I would add, I absolutely agree with everything you said. So if you're too comfortable, that's a problem. Get uncomfortable with uncertainty. And create a network of your sponsors inside your company, and then ask for it, right? Once a year or more with your manager, like what's next for you. And what I would add is there are situations your manager is not going to be your best ally.
Oh yes.
Let's face it. So you have to broaden your network. The inside network is a must, but you have to become a brand that is not one company wonder. I said I was one company wonder and best kept secret. Don't do that. Because you have to create a network of sponsors outside your company. Have a plan if it doesn't work out inside that company. You already are established inside and out, and you are needed elsewhere for a bigger role.
Well, I mean, what you're saying is so important. Build your opportunity network outside the company, because we women, we tend to have a peer network, people at our same level, and we coordinate amongst each other. But if you want to have a little bit more control over your direct manager, make sure that you are in good deeds with the boss of your direct manager, so that he or she cannot bypass you.
Yeah. I mean, have a plan, ladies. The plan involves time frame. And where you want to be and why. Not just for the money. There's a reason for that. And if it doesn't happen inside your company, don't despair. Just have a plan and move on with the next plan.
Absolutely. And by the way, Ralph said, yes, wonderful insights from you both to guide others' misperceptions. That is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So
Catherine?
Yeah, I think that we have come now to the end of our today's exchange or fireside chat or whatever you want to call it. And we will be again there in 2 weeks' time with another topic. If you have suggestions, leave us some comments, and else we have plenty of topics on our side that we would like to share with you so that we all can grow and learn from it. So thank you so much.
A lot of male supporters as well.
Yes.
You have wives, you have daughters, and you have sisters. So come help us.
Excellently said. So bye-bye to everyone, and we'll see each other again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So